Something that sets me apart from your other t-shirt quilt or memory quilt options out there is that this all comes with a lifetime of this quilter guarantee. That if I've made a quilt, I guarantee that if it ever needs mending, and I define that on my website, that I'm here to do that for free. So it comes with this lifetime mending guarantee from me. Additionally, this is a small business, and so you are working collaboratively with me to get exactly what you want. So instead of kind of following a very specific pattern, things are a little bit more flexible. And I try to meet your need and your desires and work with what you've got to make a quilt project that is specific to you. And this is a true quilt. That means it has a topper, batting, that's that center filling layer, and backing to it. And those are all machine bound around the edges and hand tied throughout the quilt. So this is a real quilt, heirloom quality with a lifetime mending guarantee, but based on the lifetime of this quilter. One question I get every time I take on a new quilt project or I'm talking with a prospective client is, how do I decide which shirts go where and what I can include? And I don't know if you've ever tried to clean out your closet, but choosing items to save and what to hold on to and what to let go of is really difficult. And so I try to take some of that out of the picture. I've got a minimum number of shirts I need for each size of quilt. But what is really helpful about Prayerful Pieces is that you can just send me all the things and I will probably find a way to fit it all in there. So even those, maybe it's just the little emblem from a shirt that you want that I can applique on as a patch. Maybe it's a cheer bow from all those cheer competitions. I love to applique a cheer bow somewhere like very nicely placed on a quilt. Or maybe it's just some favorite sweatpants with a pattern that you liked, or an emblem and a name that's kind of awkwardly shaped. At Prayerful Pieces, since I'm doing it all by hand and I'm using my creative energy to design your custom quilt topper, you can just send it my way. And what I do after I lay everything out and I take a look at it, I'll look at it a few times because I want to be sure I like the way that it's going to lay, that the colors are going to match, it's got a good variety, and that everything you sent me is going to fit well. And so what I do is send a picture and say, hey, here's what I'm thinking. And then some folks are like, I really don't care, just do what you do and I'll take what you give me. And I'm happy to do that too. We can be as involved as you want to be. That's one of the best things about custom quilting with a real live custom quilter. Now, to make this video, I did choose to be doing it while doing one that is not an order that's for purchase, but a personal order. Something I really love about these quilts is that they just mean a lot. To me, I know the stories behind these shirts because these belong to somebody that I loved. And so I can look at it and say, that's going to be the centerpiece. This will be the very center of this quilt topper. This is what you're going to see when you look at it. But maybe you, when you're making your quilt order, this is really important to me. I want you to put a Post-it note on there. Tell me in a text message, take a picture of it. This is a collaborative effort as much as you, the client, want it to be. So if you say, this is the most important shirt in the whole quilt, or these 3 items, I want them to be the focal point. I want them to be in the first row or right in the center. That's something you get to choose and that we get to work on together to make sure that the product I produce is exactly what you were looking for and really tells the story. Up here are 2 really important things that you need when you're making a t-shirt quilt that you want to last for a long time. One thing is good high quality batting, and I only use the same brand all the time, every time, and that's the Warm and Natural. I've used a variety of battings when I first got started, but this has been my favorite one. It's lightweight, but it still gives you a good, blanket quilt feel, but it washes well, it stays in place, and it's just really great for me. So this is needled cotton, and it works really well for me, and I love quilting with it. Another thing that you'll see up here is my roll of interfacing. This is that stuff that makes sure that your t-shirt doesn't sag, or if I'm using jerseys or different things, this is what I hand iron and press onto the back of those shirts to fix them in place before sewing all of the pieces together. That way there's no sagging, and that way your shirt is more likely to hang through all of those washing. Let's talk about the process. From start to finish, we're working on an 8 to 12 week turnaround time. That clock starts the moment that I receive your product. So if you have a bag of memory shirts, memory materials, fabrics, t-shirts, whatever it is, from the time I receive those, it's an 8 to 12 week turnaround. I work really hard to get that done as quickly as possible and on your schedule. And if there's a special date that you have in mind and it's shorter than that window, I'm going to be honest with you about whether I think I can accomplish that. I have been able to turn around quilts quicker than that, especially smaller quilts or custom orders like an infant-sized quilt or things like that. But we're working on an 8 to 12 week turnaround in general. It'll take me a few days once I receive your products to put together a design. Usually I'll give you a deadline of when I plan to send you that design, something to keep me accountable and to give you an idea of when you can hear from me again. Then I'll send you a few pictures that show, here's where I landed, here's what I'm thinking, here's what I plan to do, and I'll be sure that I have all your facts right about what you are preferring. If you had a preference on border colors, or if there was a specific theme that was in your plans, then I'm going to make sure that it all looks the way that you're thinking and explain what the outline looks like. Once I get a thumbs up, then I start cutting, quilting, and really get to work. And you won't hear from me for a while until I get to the final stage. And when I'm at the very final stage of binding your quilt, I will send a last chance update on the quilt top and make sure that you're happy with the progress. Again, if you just want to trust me with it and just get what you get at the end, we can have a less contact experience. But if you want to have more of a say and be a part of the collaboration that goes into making a custom quilt, then I'm here for that too. Once the binding and the hand tying and everything is done, your quilt is ready for pickup. So I will do my best, especially if you're local or within about 100 miles of me. I'd love to do an in-person delivery. This is really precious stuff and I hate to just put it in the mail. So I also love to see you open it. I love to see somebody open the quilt that we've been working on together, and I love for there to be an inspection. Take a look over it. Make sure it meets your expectations. If something doesn't, I really want you to tell me right away, or just as soon as you feel comfortable. And I haven't had that happen, but I want to know. I do travel with a little sewing kit in case I missed something, but I try to give it a good look over, make sure everything meets your expectations. If you're not local, I am happy to ship or mail out that item. I like to take a detailed video, send it your way if you're up for that, just so that you know what to expect in the mail.